fight as hell. Any little touch you touching where he gonna show it. But also he's the shorter guy. But if you really look at, I think they looking at the Gamboa fight and they looking at because remember that was still in the partying stages with him.
That's what I'm saying. Like Tank different now, man.
He
different.
hasn't taken any big shots for real. You know, besides that one body shot with Pitbull, and can you imagine if the Gamboa Tank?
About that joint.
But can you imagine though if it was the Tank who fought Gamboa who took that body shot with Pitbull? Could have been a different night. Could have been a different night.
Hey, somebody in the chat said Lomo already looking to duck Devin again.
Lomo, oh man, that'd be interesting. I'd love to see that fight.
I wanted to talk about that because I didn't get a chance to talk about Lomachenko's last fight.
Did you see Paulie Malignaggi go at it with Bill?
Yeah, he was going crazy.
Oh man, we gotta come back to this. We gotta We gotta come back.
We're gonna come back. But hey guys,
matter of fact, the next guest may want to talk about it. Shit,
who knows? About it for sure. But hey, we got another guest coming on, guys. Our second guest of the evening or the afternoon, wherever you at in the world or the country. Goes by the Thump Yard. Let's go ahead and bring him in.
Thump. Man, my BINK shirt is popping right now.
I'm a terrible person. What's going on, man?
What's up, baby?
What's up, man? Appreciate y'all having me.
Oh, let me get up.
Beautiful studio here. What's up, man?
Pleasure, man.
How you doing, man? Yeah, I was listening in on the podcast on the way over here.
Okay.
Great job, y'all.
I appreciate you.
I appreciate it, man. And if there's anything you see I can get better with, I'm not a jerk. Tell me.
Y'all doing your thing. Doing your thing, man. So just slap these on?
Yeah, you put those on?
Yes, indeed, brother. Yeah, that's my style.
Yeah, man. So microphone there, man. So we want to welcome you to the show. Welcome to Slip Encounter Podcast.
Thank you, fellas. I appreciate y'all having me, man.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm here. Slip Encounter, we active.
How's your day been so far?
My day's been good. You know, I'm good. So just maintaining. I got a 2-year-old son that's not here, so kind of regrouping, reorganizing. Get some time to myself.
You got a 2-year-old son?
He's in DR right now.
Oh, he's in the DR.
Yeah. He'll be back in 2 weeks. So
okay.
Just taking this time to kind of regroup. We got this event coming up next week, so we just planning and just tying up the loose ends and
yes, sir.
Thing.
For sure. I wanted to ask you because he just brought. I haven't heard about what you do until he brought it to my attention. So you can just talk a little bit about it, how you got your start, and what exactly is the Thump Yard?
All right, so the Thump Yard, we started as like a grassroots initiative to bring the community together through boxing. We started last year, and we really started a backyard boxing movement. So we did that to raise awareness on gun violence. So
okay.
I was a victim of gun violence in 2009, and it took away my boxing from me. It happened on the day I was supposed to be at the gym, and I didn't go to the gym so I could go home and study. I do real estate, so I went home to study for my real estate exam. That happened 13 years ago.
Wow.
So I was disconnected from boxing, not really, involved until we had this idea. I'm like, why don't we get the community together, put some gloves on, but stay anchored to a message, always have some guest speakers, always stay, keep pushing that message of putting the guns down and the gloves up. And it grew like crazy, man. It started with just like four matches, and then it went from 4 to 10 to 15 to 16. And what we were doing is we stayed active and did it every 2 weeks.
Right.
So we was pretty active every 2 weeks. People were looking forward to it. So we kind of created like a culture in the area where like, I'm gonna see you at the Thump Yard. I'm gonna train. I'm gonna start training. And what happened was you got some guys that just sign up. And the way I would do it is I had a website. You sign up, and then I match based on your experience and your weight, keep it kind of within 10 pounds. And then I interview the guy. I'm like, well, got any boxing training, this and that. So, it was open to everyone, all experience levels. And it was a lot of fun, man. And the good thing is that we got a lot of kids off the streets. And I like to think of us as a bridge. So we're like a bridge for the community that didn't really know where to go to the gym, and now I'm connecting them to the gym, like go here, go there. So we just did a pivot in August, and now we're doing sanctioned events. So now we're doing actual sanctioned events with USA Boxing and PVA. We did one in Copacabana in August 28th, and we got our next one coming up in November. So the last show we did 22 fights.
Wow.
The next one, they're capping us, so we're gonna cap it like at 20.
Yeah.
But it's a whole lot of fun, man. It's just my way to get back into the sport that I love. You know, my father was a professional boxer, so it's something I've been around my whole life.
Yeah.
I think such as yourself, right? You've been around your whole life,
Yep.
from what I hear.
Yep.
So you know, it's another passion of mine.
You selling them hoodies?
Yeah.
All right,
We
I need
got
to buy
merch.
that
We got
off you
hoodies.
before
We got
I need to buy that off you.
Yeah, definitely need one of those.
Yeah, we got a whole bunch of merch, man. So you know, that's been helping with the branding, and whole documentary was produced on the movement.
Okay.
A documentary crew went out to like our third event when we were doing the backyard stuff, and they loved it. They saw the message, they saw what we were doing, and they said, well, let me go ahead and do a documentary. So that premiered in a movie theater, and
Oh, you're right.
that premiered in the movie theater, and also we got support of the city council member of the area, and she connected us with the Channel 9 News and Univision, and I mean, it's been a blessing. But I think overall it's because we're anchored to that message, you know what I'm saying, of putting the guns down and just trying to provide an alternative solution to the gun violence that's happening in our region, man. It's just terrible.
Right. So when you first started, are there any fighters that came through your program or through the Thump Yard that are making noise in the amateur professional ranks now?
Yeah, so there's some that I now have transitioned to the amateur ranks, and they're doing their thing. I could think of probably two right now that one guy got 7 fights, other dude got 4 fights. So you know they're doing their thing, you know, in their training, and I like to see that they're taking it serious, and it's pulled them away from the street life or whatever they were involved in before. So like I said, we're like a conduit. You know, we don't have a gym right now at the moment. We're just promoting these events. But the bigger picture is at some point get a gym and have a home base for these fighters, you know.
Yeah.
But right now we're like a conduit from those that were at the backyard and doing that, and now, you know, training, and we could push them to a gym and keep them active.
Okay.
You know? So the goal with the events on the sanctioned events is to do it every 3 months.
Okay.
So we want to stay active and do these shows every 3 months.
Got you. So is this like a nonprofit organization?
Yeah, so we're waiting on a nonprofit status. We've done the application and everything. You know, that takes a little time with the IRS and all of that. But I mean, we've done the groundwork. We've laid the foundation down. We've been active, and I think we'll get it. We'll get it done soon. Yeah. So as soon as we then that's just gonna open up more doors for us.
Right.
Sure.
Exactly.
You know?
So when you were boxing, what got you into it, and like what kept you boxing in the gym?
My father was a pro boxer. I heard you mention Maurice Blocker and the Simon Browns. He's back from that era. He trained out in he trained at the House of Champions.
Yes, Tom Brown and all of them. Yes,
he trained over at then he transitioned over to Rockville Boys and Girls Club, and then I don't know if you remember, there was a gym at the Piney Branch, or not on Piney Branch, but on New Hampshire Avenue, Tacoma Park Rec Center.
I never went there, but I know what you're talking about.
There, you know what I'm saying? So he's from back in that era, and I've been seeing it my whole life. You know, I was born in '87. I'm 34 years old, so you know, as long as I can remember, I've been around the sport. And then I started training over at Sugar Ray Leonard Boxing Gym with Coach Will back when Coach Hinton was in there. So I was in there in those times. But then I moved to Florida in Miami, so the majority of my training was down in Miami for real. Then I come here and visit, and like on the summer, I go to train with Coach Will, Sugar Ray, and then train down in Miami. But I was in a gym where it was mostly pros, so I didn't really get moved around too much in the amateurs. I was basically a sparring partner for these pros, 15, 16, sparring these 30-year-old men, 28-year-old men, you know what I'm saying? So I got some real good work and got some good experience. But I like to think that boxing really gave me the mental fortitude and I attribute a lot of my mental strength to be able to deal on the day-to-day with my current situation. I'm paralyzed from my chest down. So, you know, that boxing for me is like the analogy to life, you know, so.
Yeah, man. So you said you were leaving the gym, or you were supposed to be at the gym?
I was supposed to be at the gym at the time it happened. So it was a Monday. I had the day off, and then I actually went home to study. So at that time I was working a full-time job, leasing apartments in Kent Village. You know what I'm saying, right around here, not too far. And then I was leasing apartments. I took the day off because I was also I go to the gym Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and then I was going to take my real estate course Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I finished the course, And then I went home that Monday to study for my exam. And then when I got home, there was a guy there that used to live in my house before, and he was kind of like looking for a plug for buying drugs and stuff. I wasn't involved in none of that. I was kind of like on my path. And next thing you know, it was like basically a drug deal gone wrong. I was in my bedroom studying with my book open, and basically one of my brother's friends basically set it up. He said he could get the drugs, but whole time they were like stick up guys. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have no drugs. So as I was sitting in my room studying for my exam, and I felt someone else come in my bedroom, and I just turned around in my room, and the dude just had the gun in my face, like, where it at, cuz, where it at? And I'm startled. I'm in my bedroom. That's the last thing I'm expecting to happen, you know? And I try to just stand up, and I try to turn and run. So when I turned and ran, that's when he shot. It went through my shoulder this way, like, to see where in the same direction it came. Like, I was headed out this way, and it came through my shoulder and hit my spine at T2. So it paralyzed me from my chest down. And, you know, I was just laying there, like, in shock. Like, you know, I never would have even thought that I'd get shot because I wasn't really
involved in that.
Nah, I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? I had took about 2 years off from boxing. So when I started training again, I was like, man, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do something with it, because I knew I could move. I you know, it was all right.
Doing it.
So, you know, unfortunately, that incident stole boxing away. I used to dance a lot too. You know, I come from my father's Dominican, and so, you know, saying we like to dance the bachata and the salsa and all of that. So, you know, so all of that was just taken from me in an instant. In an instant, man. Like, literally, life changed in an instant. I was laying on the ground, still conscious. Like, I never lost consciousness. So I had to process that whole moment.
Yeah.
Just laying there, like, what the hell just happened? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't move my legs, and I automatically already knew that I was paralyzed.
Damn.
You know, so.
Man, I'm sorry that happened to you, man.
Spent a month in ICU, and then another month in like rehab, and just trying to, like, you know, put the pieces of life back together and just trying to figure it out. You know.
So what was that adjustment period like after, you know, getting out of rehab and everything, and you were able to be back on your own? Was it hard to readjust?
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, imagine, I was at the time it happened, I had just turned 21 years old, so I was really just getting started in life. You know what I'm saying? And I had my career that I wanted to pursue, my boxing. You know what I'm saying? But so it was hard. It was hard, but I have to, you know, give a lot of thanks to my mother and my family that always been supportive of me and never expected anything less of me because of a chair. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I just keep it pushing forward and just stay focused on my goals. And now I have a 2.5-year-old son, which I never even thought I'd even be able to have kids. So, you know, life is just a blessing, man. It's really what you make it. And I'm just trying to take it one day at a time, you know. And although I got shot and it kind of, like, you know, derailed me for a little bit, but I still do.
You're still conquering it.
I still do real estate, and I was still able to pursue that career. And you know, I've sold over 200 houses in the area.
That's what's up.
Since 2011. I got shot in 2009, so 2011 I started being active, and I found a mentor, and you know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I think a lot of my mental strength, that's why I'm so big on, like, you know, this whole movement is through boxing. It could teach you so much. You know what I'm saying? The hard work, the discipline, the never give up attitude, that bite down on your mouthpiece attitude. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I attribute a lot of my mental strength to that, and I have to thank my dad for that too.
For sure. I gotta ask you, because a lot of people, especially younger people, they struggle with the mental health and feeling like there's no way out. They're back against the wall, and like, how do I get out of this situation? And you going through what you've gone through. How did you pull yourself? What are some things you did to pull yourself out of those situations, those tough mental days where you're down by yourself alone?
It's a great question. The first thing I did was, so I remember when I got out the hospital, I used to just, like, be depressed and thinking about all the things I couldn't do anymore. Like, damn, I can't box, I can't do this. I'm like, you know, feeling bad on myself. So the first thing I did was, it was like a paradigm shift. It's just thinking about, it's like, you know, seeing a glass half full or half empty. So I started just thinking about all the things I could still do, maybe do it differently, but I just put it in my mind that I could still do anything. Just maybe I need a little help, or maybe just, you know, maybe just approach it differently. Like in business, right? Like I was thinking like, damn, in the beginning, like how I'm gonna be able to sell houses from a wheelchair. I'm gonna go in and out of houses, but I took the approach of like, let me go and work with a team. Let me find somebody to teach the same thing I'm learning. Let me teach and get them on board so we can make this thing happen together. So it just, I think, you know, changing that, having that shift of perspective.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, your thoughts create your reality. You know what I'm saying? So if you have negative thoughts all the time, you're gonna have a negative life.
Yeah, that's monumental. That's
Excuse
huge.
my sweating, man.
Oh, you're all right,
This is
man.
all part of my injury too. So this is like things I gotta deal with. You know, sometimes I'm sweating. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good. No problem, no problem. So real estate is big right now. I know a lot of people personally that are trying to get into real estate.
Yes,
and
indeed.
you seem to be very successful at it. So what are some like key points to be successful in real
That's
estate?
what I was about to ask.
yeah,
Too.
so I'm licensed in DC and Maryland, but I also wholesale properties. Like I flip contracts and stuff like that.
Okay.
I've also dabbled in some rehabs, and my brother is also a contractor, so he's building, you know, units in DC right now as we speak. But the key to success in real estate is first find a mentor.
Okay.
And anything in life, like I think, you know, mentorship is important. Like if you want to elevate and level up, you always have to be with a mentor that can help you get there. That has the proven blueprint. So having a mentor is for sure important. Never quitting, because, you know, entrepreneurship in general, being in business is hard. Sometimes you got good days, sometimes you got bad days. You know what I'm saying? But I think having a clear objective and a clear eye on the goal and having a bigger purpose and a bigger why, that's gonna keep you in the game. You know, that's for sure gonna keep you in the game. Because I've had some dry spells when there's no deals, no money coming in. I'm like, man, I'm just gonna get a job. But then it's like something in me just don't let me, and I'm like, I gotta keep going. And boom, I hit a deal, and like, I'm good. You know, so
Well said.
you know, real estate is great. It's, you know, it's the #1 vehicle to build wealth. You know, I ain't rich yet, but you know what I'm saying. I'm on my way. I'm on my way, and I got the network around me to help me get there. So there's something that you guys spoke about with Jaleel, which was going out and networking, right?
Yeah.
And see who you meet. That's the #1 thing. That's the #1 thing that got me started in real estate, was being able to use like the power of social media, right? I was using Facebook, and I'm not just friending anybody. I'm friending people in real estate. I'm seeing what they post, and I'm getting inspiration. I'm getting tips and stuff. I'm joining groups. I'm going to meetups. You know, when I first got out the hospital, I wasn't driving yet, so I was taking the Metro Access vans to the conferences, and you know what I'm saying, just getting
Finding
in the mix.
a way to make a way.
Getting in the mix, man. You gotta fake it till you make it, for real. You know, just be there. And I used to just take my little notebook and try to get as many gems as possible from people that are moving and shaking in the business.
Right.
And that's what it takes, man, to be successful. I'm thinking just anything, really. You know what I'm saying? The power of networking is important.
Right, for sure. And definitely like through pain is growth. You can't grow without the pain.
Yeah.
You know,
there's
the
no
uncertainty.
growth and comfort. You know what I'm saying? You got to get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Exactly.
You know, so you got to push yourself out of that comfort zone. 100%. I agree.
Right. So then, you know, with the Thump Yard, what connections have you made through boxing with the Thump Yard?
We had, so at the documentary premiere, we were blessed to have the super middleweight undisputed champ Franchon Cruz. Y'all just had her over here. She, you know,
big
she
sis,
came.
shout out.
Yeah, big shout out to her. She came through. You know, of course, just in general, man. Just look, I'm here with y'all right now. You know what I'm saying? Like this wouldn't have been
we
possible.
here with you.
No, I appreciate you.
Yeah,
I
for
appreciate you, man. You know, it wouldn't have been possible without the whole movement. You know, and we got a couple headbangers fighters coming. So, you know, Boogie, it's crazy because Boogie used to spar my dad.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's a small circle, man.
I know,
the
right?
boxing community is kind of small in the area, for real. Everyone knows each other kind of. So, you know, I'm just blessed, man, to be in a position where I'm able to have, you know, some sort of impact in the community. And, you know, and our goal is just to keep growing, and take this as far as we could take it.
Right. I mean, you guys are growing at a alarming rate right now. I mean, you went from 4 to 22 fights on the card. I mean, that's incredible.
We started literally in the dirt.
Yeah.
Like literally in the dirt. Like if you look at our first video, we was literally in the dirt. We made we got some
cones and
we
ropes.
got some buckets from Home Depot and got some like PVC and some freaking rope, and you know what I mean. We was literally in the gravel, and it went from that to then like every show. What we wanted to do is just make an adjustment, make an improvement. So it went from that to then, okay, we got some plywood.
Right.
And then went from that, like, okay, well, this ain't working. Let's try to get some different ropes. So then went from that to then we ended up buying a ring. I went on eBay and I found a ring all the way in Ohio. And we went to Ohio and we got a ring. So then the last few events before we started doing the sanctioned events, they were actually with the ring.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean that's life in general, man. I think life, you just gotta keep building upon your experiences and just growing little by little, man. Just seeing how you can elevate every day, be a better person than what I was yesterday.
Oh, for sure.
Man, you a conqueror, man.
I'm telling you, man.
I tip my hat to you.
Yeah, 100%.
Thank you, bro.
Very inspirational, man.
But like I say, what I always say too, that everyone has a story. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure y'all have your stories, and everyone has their challenges, man. It's like, maybe my challenge is physical, but some people going through some mental stuff, that I can't relate to. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's just important to be able to share our experiences with everybody, because you just never know who's listening, who needs to hear what we got to say. For sure, right. 100%.
Maybe able to touch. Maybe somebody's watching, right now, be touched by what you're talking about, and maybe you would move them past a block they're facing.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
That's life in general. That's just gotta keep on going, keep pushing forward.
Right. Are you guys open to any sponsorships right now?
Yeah, I mean, we're always looking for sponsors, for sure. Always looking to work with people in the community that resonates with what we looking to do.
Yeah.
And make an impact. And yeah, we always want to work with people.
For sure. I mean, I know we know a few people in boxing that should be
just a few,
But we ain't there yet to be able to put down a huge sponsorship. But I would love to, be a part of it and help out as much as I can with what you got going on.
Appreciate you, man.
For sure.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, man. We were talking about what we talking about before we came in. Was it Lomachenko and Devin Haney?
Yeah.
Do you watch a lot of boxing?
Yeah.
And I said, well, Paul, did you catch what Paulie said?
Did you see that Lomachenko fight with Jermaine?
Jermaine?
Yeah.
It's small. Yeah, Jermaine, man, I'm proud of Jermaine.
Yeah, he did his
I'm
thing.
proud of
his
Jermaine.
First 12-round fight?
Right.
First 12-round fight, he did his thing.
He did a great job.
Some say he may have won that fight. I don't know. What y'all think?
I think it was really close. It was a very close fight.
I think Lomachenko squeaked it out. Because this just also comes from, I guess, the old school, how I grew up. Remember, I was telling you, like, until Ray did what he did with Hagler, it was always taught you had to beat the champ up, like, to win. Like, you had to either knock him out or beat him real bad to take the title type of thing.
You're right.
And that kind of maybe have been that type of moment a little bit, but either way, Jermaine his stock still rose. I don't think his stock dropped. So either way, he won. Sure. It was like
I think that elevates him and puts him probably in position for some bigger fights too. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, you gotta beat up the champion, right? But I think at the same time it exposed Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, some people say he looked old a little bit.
It exposed him. Like maybe some people saw some holes in his game, and I think that Devin Haney fight. I think it favors Haney.
Favors Devin.
This is what I was telling him. The jab is the biggest thing because
jab is sharp.
Devin's jab will be the telltale.
Yep.
His size, how fast his feet are, and that jab. That will be if the first. Same thing what I said about Pitbull and Shakur. The first 6 rounds are crucial because now you're wondering, as Devin is sitting there and because Devin, his main thing, he'll shoot it from here and he'll shoot it from here. He'll flick it up. Those first 6 rounds of just like when Loma fought Teofimo.
He can't afford to start off that slow.
He gave that first 6.
He gave 6 away.
He can't do that here
at all. He said that when he walked to the back with the guy who always has all the Russian fights, he said he was too big. It took a while for me to finally get the angle to get around him and work. So now you got to wonder, in my opinion, I think Devin's jab is just a little better than Teofimo's. Even though Teofimo had a great jab that night. Now it's okay. Slightly smaller than Teofimo, but a better jab than Teofimo. How does he get past those first 6 rounds? That's the big thing.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough for Lomachenko, man.
It's gonna be tough.
He's a slow starter. He likes to dissect you.
You can't start slow with Devin.
It's gonna be a long night.
Because Devin's gonna get under control.
Yeah, he's gonna get it under control.
And then pick his pace up. The next thing you know, he behind. I had him behind with Jermaine though. Like the first 6 rounds, I had him behind.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was too close of a fight, and I think it could have been a political thing, just trying to push for that Devin Haney fight.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what I was seeing. Because then who stepped in the ring after the fight? Devin Haney.
Yeah.
You know, they just trying to build it up, and then after that, they called the fight. They matching them up. So
that's a great point.
Did y'all see what Paulie Malignaggi said to Bill?
Yeah, they was going.
He said, "Man,
he said, don't bet.
you not gonna take the fight or whatever." He said, "But I got him whooping your son's ass."
I don't know,
and
man.
I don't know about
honestly,
whooping. I don't got him whooping him. He could squeak out something.
He look a lot smaller too.
Yeah.
For sure.
They fight what at 35?
35.
Yeah, it's 35.
Yeah, Haney probably gonna move up after that 40. So, yeah. I don't know. Who else y'all like nowadays though? Like
we was just talking about. If I run down the whole jump, we was just talking before Pitbull and Stevenson.
Pitbull and Shakur fighting.
Two fighting each other.
Mandatory.
Who y'all think about that? Yeah, I mean that's the whole podcast today, right? And
yeah, right.
Who y'all think take that one?
I like Shakur, man.
Yeah, I like Shakur.
But them first 6 rounds is gonna be a
Shakur probably just gonna study him first couple rounds and then make the adjustment. His IQ is
gonna take over.
Yeah, it's too up there. His IQ, his boxing IQ,
his distance control.
Right. It's gonna take. I think we're gonna see something different from Shakur because of what Pitbull brings. It's something he's never seen.
That's true.
And I think Pitbull gonna bring a different side of Shakur. It's gonna make him fight a little bit different.
They call him the Mexican Mike Tyson, right?
Yeah.
You know
and he stole so much volume. One of his main things, like when he knocked out my guy, I love the Magdaleno family. The Magdaleno family, man, that was some bad boys. People, I hate that. That's how. I think that was Diego, or it was either Jesse or Diego. One of them two fought him. How they went out there, because people forget just how crucial he was leading up to that fight. This is a guy who was a world champ fighting all these guys. This is a world champion family, like, you know. So, but then because of that knockout, it's kind of like, oh, that's what you remember him for. If you a casual,
exactly. That's a good point.
If you're a casual, that's what you remember him for. But if we already know Pitbull is a volume guy. He's gonna. That's the everything. I was saying before the show, before you came on, before even Jalil came on. I was like, the biggest thing you're watching it for is everything that you wanted Valdez to do against Shakur is what you're gonna see Pitbull do. He's gonna throw more, volume.
All it takes is one punch.
Yeah, and then on top of that, he's going to he's gotten better in these past fights. He's not just barreling in anymore like before.
It's a little more
now
strategic
he's
going in.
Feinting. He's giving you a double step, and he hops over here, and he's swimming. He's doing a lot more things now.
And he punches in the clinch.
He's punching in clinches now. He's not just, okay, where gloves are touching so I could work. He's not. Now he's clinching. He's trying to work out. Great. If I'm in Pitbull's camp, I'm telling him, hit this some bitch anyway. Don't aim for any particular thing. Don't look for your jab to land. It ain't landing, all right? Just use your jab to get to where we need to go to do what we got to do. Hit this man anywhere. We need to take his life. These first 6 rounds, I need you to please give him some double looks with your feet, feint, slide in, shoot the jab. Just see if you can make Shakur think for a second, even though his distance control and vision, you're not going to really make him blink or pull up too much. But you're mostly going to make him take that quarter step to see what's going on. What I say is see what's going on, but not give up ground. And then if he needs to, take a 6-inch step and then spin out. But see if you can make him do that, and then you slide over and cut him off. Hit him anyway. Collarbones, forearm, hand, hips, thigh, in the clinches, hips and thigh. Hit him anyway, because we need to put something in the bank to hopefully hold us over round 7 through 12, where we could really try to pick it up, get him uncomfortable. Rub your head on his chest more and more. Rub up and down. Go
That's
over
the key word, uncomfortable.
Move that shoulder on him when you're in the clinch. Sit there, grab his arm, lock his arm. Sit there, go under. Go look. Just little irritating stuff. You have to do it. But I think it's going to be another one of them fights where Pitbull, just like with Tank, Pitbull loses, but he don't lose. He loses, but he don't lose.
Keeps him in the mix.
Because he shows up.
Because of his style.
Just like he did with the Devontae fight.
Yeah, kept him in the mix.
He showed up.
You know,
that was a tough fight for Devontae.
Yeah, that body shot. And he wasn't expecting it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
His defense too for that the upper that Devontae was throwing.
He was catching
a lot of them jumps.
Right, slipping him, barely slipping him, like woof. Yeah, man. Look, in the chat we got Against the Ropes with Dose. He said Shakur got to sit down on his punches against Cruz. He said, I'm going to the Montana Love fight tomorrow. Y'all see Hitchens and him go at it. We missed the press conference. We here. But I'm sure you know Richard and Montana's a big personality, so I'm sure something happened at the press conference.
Who fighting?
No, they're not fighting each other. But
Okay,
they got into it.
Wait, time out.
No.
Oh dear God,
they got into it at the press conference. Apparently,
oh Lord,
it's probably gonna be all over YouTube and everything.
You know it.
It is. Who are some of your top guys that you like in the game right now?
In the game right now, yeah, I like Shakur. Obviously, I like Davis. I like what's this? I forgot his name.
Describe him.
It's a Dominican dude. I forgot his freaking name though.
Michael Ali, Michelle Ali.
Yeah. I like him. I like it. You like him? I like him.
He know who he about to fight, right?
Nah.
He fighting Ghost, Frank Martin.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they both just signed it like earlier this week. Yeah, earlier this week.
When they fight?
Probably in another 8 weeks or so, 6 weeks or so.
He a beast.
That's gonna be interesting because them two did not have to fight each other. They could have waited for down the line, and them two are doing this now. Y'all need to tip y'all hats to them two because they didn't have to do that. There's no way. There is no way you could convince me that they had to fight each other right now. That could have waited for another year or two.
They doing what a lot of fighters need to be doing.
That's what we want, right?
Yeah.
We want the best fighting the best.
Right.
You know, I think it's missing. I was just listening to Roberto Duran, right? An interview he did, and he was talking how like today's boxers, right? There's more money in boxing, but you don't have the best fighting the best.
Killers.
Before, back in the day, you had less money, but you had the best. They were fighting each other. You know what I'm saying? So I think we need that. We need the best fighting the best, man.
Yeah, you just heard Jalil say similar. It's like his dad's era, my dad's era, but Boog, all them guys. It's like in the amateurs, it's a different animal because in the amateurs, it's like you can't hide from the guy. No matter what that bracket is what that bracket is. You got to see him right then. It's like when you turn pro, it's the total opposite. You can see him later, type of thing. Dance around him, type of thing. So but the thing was back then in that era, I say it all the time. And I'm pretty sure you can attest that this was your dad's mental thing back then was. If I do what I'm supposed to do, the money gonna come. No matter if I just do what I'm supposed to do, the money gonna come. Why? And you got guys now pricing themselves out, doing all these different things, but really ain't earned the right to do that. Like everybody want to be Money Mayweather, but they forget about the pretty boy days when he was fighting Chico Corrales and he was the underdog. When they threw him in for Castillo, for Jesus Chavez, and Jesus Chavez was giving him a working over, and he had to get through the storm, and then started picking him off, and then made Jesus Chavez corner throwing the towel late. When he didn't want to take a certain purse, and their way to get back at him was throwing him in there with a guy that he didn't know who the hell the guy was, and who was that guy? Emmanuel Augustus. Yeah, that was the story behind that. It was because so from what I've been told, I think it was he wanted the same type of purses that Prince was getting. Naseem Hamed was getting, or he wanted to fight Prince Naseem Hamed. I forget. I haven't read it in so long, but basically it was something with Prince Naseem Hamed. And I think they tried to offer him something, and he said, no, I don't like the deal. I'm not doing that. But so they were pissed at him that he didn't do it. So they was like, okay, the way we're going to get him back is because it used to be this thing Kevin Kelly used to be the host of. It used to be like this rap thing with boxing back then. If you watch the broadcast from back then, you'll see what I'm talking about. It was, so they choose him an opponent with, I think, Gus's record at the time was like 21 wins and 18 losses or something like that. But really his record is like 2-3 losses, really 4 losses maybe. This is a guy who fought Ivan Robinson when they both were in single-digit fights. Floyd had no idea who the hell this guy was. No idea. Took the fight and wound up giving Floyd a working over. But he was able to pinpoint certain shots, and they were able to stop it with Emmanuel. But story goes, he gets back to the dressing room, unlaces his boots, still kind of dressed, and he's sitting. The great Kevin Kelly walks in and sit beside him, and Floyd's wiping the blood off his nose. He had the towel over him, whatever. He put his arm around Floyd. He said, man, you lucky, man. He said, he looked at Kevin, man, I don't never want to see that guy ever again in my life, man. And Kevin said, man, you lucky, man, because if he had any more crack, you'd have been out of there. He said, bro, I don't ever want to see that guy ever again in my life.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch that fight again.
Oh my gosh.
Back to that question. I like Jaron Ennis too.
Oh, Boots.
Yeah,
Boots is dangerous.
Boots is dangerous.
Very dangerous. Good. You know, he fought my godbrother twice in the Olympic trials.
Yeah,
in the box off.
Russell.
I
saw the fight.
Yeah, man, that was crazy.
That was a good fight too.
Yeah, so and people gotta understand he's the youngest of that Boots legacy. Like all his brothers were top 15 contenders.
Yeah, we got four fighters coming from that gym on our next show.
What?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, both.
That's what's up.
On our last card we had 3 or 4. Yeah, but their amateurs is nice too. They got they got a great training program over there.
Oh yeah.
One of the fighters is Leasia Minor. She's one of the top amateurs. She's fighting.
Yeah, I've seen her.
She's fighting Algeria Johnson on our card.
Okay,
so that's gonna be fireworks.
Oh, for sure.
I'm excited to see that match.
100%. Real quick, let me check out the chat. We got Edward Jack in here. He said boxing fans still have great fights coming up without the Bud fight Spence. That's without Bud fighting Spence. I read that wrong. He was talking about Hitchison. He said Hitchison was at his neck. They on the same card, and Eddie Hearn was gassing it up. And then we got our man Junior out here. He said Haney over Loma. I love the Stevenson versus Pitbull. My thoughts are exactly what Junior said. Cruz stock gonna rise up, win or lose. And then Josephine Junker said 135 just became a powerhouse class. I mean, it's been that for a couple years.
Been there for a while now.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Now you gotta also, you look at Boots and look at 47. 47 still in good hands. Whether you have the Bud and
47 loaded too, man.
Bud and True fight each other, yes or no, they still gotta worry about Boots ass coming up, and then you got another kid who just walked out of this building who's working his way up the ladder too.
Yeah.
Then Boots put in like a petition to
yes, he
fight.
did.
Spence?
Yes, he did.
Spence, right?
He didn't care. That was just the one he put up. He want both.
Right.
From what I've been told through the grapevine from different people,
Boots
he want both. He want anybody.
So let me ask you, man. Since you like Boots, how does Boots do against Spence, and how does he do against Crawford, in your opinion?
I think he beat both of them.
Okay.
I think I like Boots. I like his style. He can move. Defensively, he gets clipped though. He do get hit. But
did you catch?
Yeah, he do get hit. So now you making me think.
Yeah.
Now, that if he do, I mean, but I like his style, man. I like his punch output. You know what I'm saying? He can mix it up.
Good vision.
Good vision. I mean, I'm a fan of Boots. I think he's gonna be a big part for many fighters in that division.
100%.
I don't know. This is my thing. If he fights Bud or Earl, the biggest thing we looking for is we know he got the skills, and we know that Bud and Earl basically he may have more flash than them two. But where does the experience come in? 8 through 12, and next thing you know, Bud and them start catching up to him late. Bud and Earl they've been there, done that. They may see stuff before he do it. Like the flash may not bother them. The stuff that he looks so spectacular doing on other guys. Now he at the highest of highest levels.
Yeah.
Oh, I seen that before, shorty. Yeah. I've been in there with this guy, this since the amateurs. And some of the moves he do, you might have Bud say, man, I sparred. This guy did Carl Dargan. I sparred, or I've been in there with so many guys from in the amateur program in the Olympic Plaza. I'm like, man, I done seen that stuff before, shorty. You ain't catching me with that. And then the experience starts to take hold late. That's the thing that gets me right there. Now, if I'm them, I'm like, let Boots keep building his stock just not much, more. Just a little more, so it'll sell. He's almost there.
I like to see Boots fight Keith, but Keith don't want that.
Oh, hell no. Keith better duck the hell out of that.
He's the next. I mean, of course, but that's like the next former world champion. Next guy that you can get to before Bud and Spence. That's why Thurman fighting Spence right now. He's the next guy besides Bud. Who else?
Man,
who else? Sean Porter not fighting no more. I would love to see Boots versus Porter, but he not fighting no more. So,
man, I got Boots stopping Keith with a body shot.
With a body shot?
Yeah, Keith can't take no body shot.
Oh, yeah.
He on his bicycle from the get-go.
I think Boots versus Crawford is a more entertaining fight.
Yeah.
I think because they both liable to get clipped.
and they both switch.
Right, and they both switch.
That might be something we get next year.
Right.
Maybe the boxing fans get that fight next year.
But
Well,
also,
either that one or the Errol Spence.
The biggest thing is who wins. Like, put your hand out. Who wins this? Who wins the lead hand in that situation? Both of them switch. Sometimes they both be switching too close to their guy. And I've always been taught you can switch, but don't you switch too close because you'll get hit with somebody you off balance and you're not even hurt.
That's what I'm saying.
On the ground.
They both got liabilities.
Yeah, next thing you know, you on the ground like, man, I'm not even hurt. Yeah, 4, 5.
I got knocked down like that one time.
Yeah, like, you understand? Because you switch.
I walked right into that junk.
Damn.
But I wasn't hurt. It was
more
like off balance.
Right.
Man, knocked me on my ass.
And it's a flash thing. You land, and every time it happens, you don't land like devastated. It lands on your butt.
Yeah,
like this.
Mad as hell.
Damn, what the fuck?
In the gloves on the camera. Damn. Whole gym like,
right, going
crazy.
I swear, man, every time. And so now, your biggest thing is, who's gonna win this? Are we fighting Southpaw versus Southpaw? Who's switching? Who's gonna switch? Are we doing Southpaw, or are we doing Orthodox versus Southpaw? Who's going? And then if we do
all of that in one.
If we do right-handed versus Southpaw, it's lead hand on lead hand. Who gonna get it? Who's gonna have more reach? Who's gonna get more off that little half an inch of reach more? Then it's who's thinking, can Boots survive late?
I think
taking them into deep waters, but the atmosphere of it
all,
we ain't seen it. I believe so too, but we ain't seen. It's like it's.
I think he just announced he got a fight, but Boots? I don't think he said who he's fighting.
Who's fighting yet? Okay, I'm interested to see.
It's basically Tommy and Ray all over again. And I'll tell you why. I remember watching Legendary Nights when Manuel Stewart knew Legendary from when they
Nights,
were. Man, I missed that show.
Yeah, me too, man.
I can't tell the full story. Hopefully one day my dad comes on the show and tells the whole story. I'll tell y'all off the air. But basically, if you watch Legendary Nights, from the time Manuel Stewart signed that contract, he knew Tommy's gonna get hurt sooner or later in this fight. And he says on the air, I already knew the explosion was gonna happen. Sooner or later, Ray Leonard was much stronger than people realized. My father standing up. I'm sitting there watching it. I said, how that? Dad said, Dad's doing this. Shh, man, that motherfucker hit. I said, what? He said, man, Ray, man, used to put people out in the amateurs, man. Them man hit. And then it happened. He hurt Tommy bad. Tommy had to get it together. Thank God Tommy was in tip-top shape. He recovered because you know how dangerous of a finisher Ray Leonard was. Take everything I just said.
Ray was my favorite.
Yes, take everything that I just said about Ray. If you take the same, that's Bud. Much stronger than people realize. The explosion always happens sooner or later. Has a way of recovering and then wind up breaking down his guys. Now with Boots is dominating everybody. Tommy was known as a smooth boxer all through the amateurs. Couldn't
I see
break
the correlation now.
Couldn't break 2 wet paper towels with a running start. Had no power in the amateurs. Turn pro, he putting everybody out cold. Now look at Boots. Turning pro, fighting every 2 weeks, putting Bama's out. I mean, devastating. Now you're having trouble getting fights. You got to sit there and get a body in front of him and put a little mirror up under the nose to make sure it's a body, and then put him in front of Boots, putting guys out.
That's a good point.
When when Tommy Hearns fought Pepino Cuevas, who was the best they had out there, who was known that his punch was like getting hit by a mule kick. You'll see Pino Cuevas before he gets clipped by Tommy, he gets caught. He throws something. You see Tommy stay heavy on the front foot because Tommy had the thing where to not give up ground, he would walk to you, do that, and he would just take a little back foot back. But that way, instead of doing this, you change the dance, right, you go, I'm still here. Right. And you see Pino kind of catch him here, but he controls it, catches him, whatever. What does that correlate to? What just happened to Boots? A few fights back, he fights Thomas DeLorme. Watch that tape back, and they in the dressing room. Bozy told him, DeLorme got a habit of throwing that overhand. Watch out for the overhand, because they were doing the mitts, and Boots went the ring. He said, you're going the wrong way. Don't go that way. Remember, because it's such and such. Fight happens. He hurts Thomas Lorman. Thomas Lorman throws the exact counter to get himself out of trouble. And you see Boots with his hand not where it's supposed to be. In the last second, he see it because he in tip-top shape. Everything is in slow motion when you're in top shape.
Mm-hmm.
See, caught it and caught that jump. Then all of a sudden, he knocks Thomas Lorman out. Watch him walk back to the corner. He tell his father, man, good thing I did because right what you said was right here when I caught it. And he catches it. So it's like, you wonder, those little things that's happened to him as he's gotten higher in the fights and the levels. What if that happens not early? I don't see it happening early with him getting hurt if he fights Earl, but I see it happening 7, 8, 9, those type of rounds where it's something, that little extra experience gets it there. Like, Bud has a habit of landing certain shots just off of experience. Like when he caught Benavidez with the uppercut. Benavidez threw the same uppercut at the same time. Just Buzz was a little shorter and a little sooner to the mark.
Hey, man, they say this is a game of inches.
Tenths of a second.
A game of inches.
Right.
And you hurt.
Bud's a natural puncher, too. Bud throws punches unconventional that you just don't. You can't really train to fight like Bud trains. But there's just one Bud Crawford. There'll never be another, I think, the way he throws his punches.
But the other thing is, and I always mention this, the Ricky Burns fight. Watch that tape again.
Hold on, real quick. Against the ropes with Dose, he said, I got Boots over everyone at 147 to 160.
I don't blame you.
He said, hear me out. I think Ennis could even stop Big Charlo. He said in January. Then he said Tommy was long. Pause.
Oh my God. Anyways.
Hey, yo. But nah, facts though. Between 160, Boots and Charlo though.
At 154, I could see it, because he's gonna grow. He's gonna grow out of 47 in another year or two. Yeah. But so this is my thing. Watch that tape. Matter of fact, don't even watch just the fight tape. Go and watch when he's sitting with Teddy Atlas and he goes over his fight with Ricky Burns. Ricky Burns' jab was getting too close. Like the jab was landing and hitting him on the nose early on, and that's when you see about going. I think it was. I want to say 2 minutes or 1 minute and 48 seconds into the third, he switches southpaw. They paused the tape. Teddy out and say, "Why did you do that?" He said his jab was getting too close, so I had to take and change the distance on it. Because now if I'm going here and I'm throwing, now if I switch southpaw, that gives you more distance. Yeah, got the lead hand. Like remember, what do you always see Floyd do when he fights southpaw? When he fights right-handers, Floyd sit here all night long. He'll change the look. Of course, he'll go high guard, go ahead with, but he's gonna let you touch his shoulder because he's gonna rock and shoot the break, rock, boom, shot the uppercut, hook. He's gonna do that. But when he fights a southpaw, he doesn't give you the shoulder. He gives you the forearm. He'll go here and here. As the first defense, go back to the Cuban style, where it's like instead of now, I gotta give you a foot because your lead hand's getting too close to me. And if your lead hand gets that close, your left hand gonna go past my face. So now if you're looking at the boot situation with Bud, that's the game. Who's gonna have the most glove control first? Who's gonna get down the glove control first? Who's gonna get the foot placement first? That's my thing. Now when we go to the Earl thing, I think that's an inside fight all night long. I got Earl. That's them standing right there, and it's gonna be because Earl's thing is he works in this. If this is my man, Earl's slickness is this. Back to the old textbook days. That's all. Because you heard Mikey Garcia, who's textbook to the T, say he was right there in front of me. And every time I had a counter, right there, he's right there for the counter. As soon as I go to shoot it, he's just that much over, out of the way. Now it's, and Boots' thing is, boom.
That's a fact.
And then rip. So if I'm Earl, where am I going to catch it once he shoots this? Am I going to catch it here, tuck in, and come up the middle? Or am I going to go here and then grab his arm here and cowboy block, boom, boom, come all the way down, boom, boom. I think it's an inside fight with the Earl if he fights Earl compared to if it's Bud, it's this. Yeah. If it's Earl, is this and a little bit of adjustments and maybe who's gonna walk forward for like a round or two and then switch the dance and then they back in the middle again. Yeah, I feel like I'm talking too much. What y'all think? What y'all think?
I think you're right. I think yeah, for sure inside fight with Earl, and then I mean with both of them switching, Bud and Jerome, I mean anything could happen really there.
That's anything like whose fuse is gonna blow up first? Who gonna get clipped first in that fight? And like you said, with Spence, just disciplined fighter.
But Earl,
hold on real quick in the chat though. Against the ropes, he said Charlo's gonna be long gone on 168 before Boots hits 154. That could be possible too. We have a Marvin Boyce in the chat. He said we have to do better. So many people be quick to downplay a move they don't understand. We know nothing that really going on but rumors. That's true. That's what we're here to talk about. We talking boxing. It's all opinion based. We don't really know what's going on because we're not in those rooms to talk. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're here to do. Janet Fox, what's up, fellas? It's the next big thing coming from DC. Yes. And then I want to ask you that. Do you ever get a chance? I know you're busy with what you got going on. Do you get a chance to go to the local fights at like the Rosecroft? Or?
I went to Rosecroft. I plan on going to Dusty's fight next week.
Okay.
There was supposed to be a fight this Saturday at the WEG Studios, but that one got canceled.
Oh yeah, I know what fight.
Yeah, that joint got canceled. But I'm going to Dusty's fight. Definitely going to be there to support.
For sure. Who are some of your top guys from the area that you like?
From here, I see Outlaw doing his thing, and I remember him from when I used to train at Sugar Ray. So it's good to see how he's still doing his thing. I like Jaleel for sure. Who else we got out here? I don't really know. Who else we got out here, bro?
There's so many names, man.
It's really so many. DMV got top talent all across the board. There's some guys that train out at Headbangers that I like. I forget.
Scooter.
Yeah, Scooter.
Sugar She.
Sean.
She doing his thing. Scooter doing his thing.
Pat.
There's so many, man. There's so much talent. There's so much talent in the DMV. So much.
For sure.
There's gonna be, and we got a long line of champions that's gonna be coming out over the next few years.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying too, man. For sure, a lot of guys. What can we do to help you out? What you got going on? Like what can people do? Or where can we find you to help?
Yeah, I mean,
get more involved.
Instagram, man. Just follow us on the Instagram, the Thump Yard. Just keep amplifying this message. You know what I mean? Come out, support the events. And that's really it, man. Just support us. Support the events. Come out, support our page. And see, with what I do with my career in terms of real estate, right? So I'm fusing what I love, which is boxing and real estate, into one. Because what I like to do at these events is take the opportunity to touch on these different topics. Because I feel like the whole gun violence issue is a holistic approach, right? We could tackle it with sports. But then, like, on a come up as an amateur, you're not making no money, right? But there's other things that we could do. So we could touch on, like, real estate or financial literacy or how to get your credit right.
Financial literacy.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. Mental health awareness.
Preach.
Touch on mental health awareness. So it's a whole holistic approach. And that's the goal at these events, is to kind of touch on each and every topic while showcasing the great, all these talented boxers at these events. So, just gonna keep pushing, keep going.
Incredible. That's incredible. Do you guys look to put on fights in different areas?
Yes, I mean, right now we're in our backyard. We're gonna do it every 3 months here, but with the brand growing so fast, it only makes sense to go elsewhere. I grew up in Miami, so definitely want to do something out there in Miami too.
That'll be what's up. I went to Miami for the Canelo versus Yildirim.
Okay.
I went to that fight. I mean, everybody's like, "Oh, he fighting a bum," but I mean, it was cool to go see the experience at the Hard Rock.
Training in Miami, see, it's funny because you know how I said I used to come here to train, and then I train in Miami. So in Miami, I was around Cubans, Colombians.
Indeed.
So the styles are so much different. And then I come over here and train, and I'm training at Sugar Ray Leonard. It's a different style, American style. So it's good that I was able to get exposure on both ends. You know what I'm saying? And just get different looks.
Sound like my friend Yellow Rod. Dialis Parade 2-0 now. Call him Yellow Rod Amarillo. Like he from Jersey, and he will go to Miami, and he's training there. That so you sound exactly like him.
You get different looks, man. The Cuban looks. Style, you know what I'm saying? I'm always a big fan of the Cuban style. My coach was he was Puerto Rican, but in my gym was a lot of Colombians, Cubans, just Dominicans, you know, some Mexican guys I used to work with too.
Yeah.
So it was good to get that exposure. You know what I'm saying? Get that exposure, and it's you know, boxing is it's such a wide array of styles. You know what I mean? It's just so it's an amazing sport, man.
That's what I was about to ask you. Like, so what was your style like when you was fighting?
I was like a boxer puncher.
Boxer puncher?
Yeah, boxer puncher. I move around a lot. You know what I'm saying? I didn't like to get hit. You know what I'm saying? Nobody like to get hit, but I can also sit down and bite down on that mouthpiece and mix it up and punch too.
Yeah,
you know
for sure, for sure.
I'd say I was boxer puncher. For
okay.
Sure.
Do you know who DeMond Nicholson is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got 2 of his fighters coming on my card too.
Okay, I was about to say because
Cherry Lane Boxing.
He just did a like a guns down, gloves up thing too recently.
Oh yeah. I think he did that with Ilzak and them, like
something like
Ilzak.
that.
I saw that.
Yeah, I was saying, you know, maybe y'all could collab and do something together. You know,
yeah,
I mean, he would definitely be down
he's
to
on.
do it.
Yeah, I definitely want. I'm working with anybody and everybody in the community, man. Anybody and everybody. So these it's you know, as a promoter and putting these shows together, I'm naturally like a nice guy and fair guy, but it's hard, man, because you know I want to accommodate everybody, but it's impossible
hard,
to keep everybody happy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like at this point,
as long as you know your heart is good, you win. You can't be mad at yourself.
At this point though, at some point we're gonna have to do like a 2-day tournament with the amount of fighters that I get on that you know the coaches
bracket
send.
style, like
something, bro. Because I get a lot of coaches that send their fighters, and I just can't. I can't get everybody on the card,
can't match them all.
I try to be, you know, fair across the board and get the Sugar Ray on, get the Headbangers on, get the chair. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get everybody on the card, but you know, we're gonna keep doing a rotation, and on the next one probably have a couple different gyms, man.
Yeah. So where the fights being held at now? I'm sorry. Where the fights being held out now?
They're gonna be in Coca Cabana in Hyattsville, Adelphi, Maryland, Hyattsville.
Okay.
2031 University Boulevard East.
Okay, I had to get that from you. So I'm gonna forget between now and we leave. I'm gonna get that
Coca
from you.
Cabana Bar and Grill.
And I gotta buy a hoodie off for you before we roll out.
Almost definitely.
You know,
man.
so
yeah, we got different styles too.
100%.
I'll get them all then.
Yeah.
You know, but so we here in the chat. You know, a lot of people gonna. So I see one about my god brother, but we gonna hold on that. I want to also speak on the Earl part. What do y'all think if Boots fights Earl? I've noticed throughout his whole career, Earl has a problem with a left hand somewhere around here. And his whole body freezes. Either he freezes or he disconnects something. Disconnects or he freezes or something. That inside work and the way that Boots shifts. And we all know that Earl's thing is more... He'll move his body to the side, but it's more just here. And then if he needs to reset, then he steps his foot around. But, you know, Boots, his whole thing is he going to rock off, spin off, or whatever. But that spin off and he gets that angle in that left hand. That's another telltale sign. But also on that highest level, hitting Boots on his hips. If Earl gets to hitting Boots on his hips and locks him in place, whole new ball game. What y'all think?
Let you answer that.
Yeah. I mean, Hey man, I want to see that fight. I just want to see it as a boxing fan. As a boxing fan, as a boxing fan, you know what I'm saying. May the best man win, because both of them are talented. Both of them are talented. Man. Anything can happen in that fight. You know what I mean? They both got they top notch fighters. So as boxing fans, I think we need to see that fight next year. You know what I'm saying? After this fight, Errol Spence got coming up, we need to see that fight for sure. And that might be set up because I don't know who it is, but I saw Boots post that his fight was locked in. I don't think he announced who it was yet, but you know what I'm saying. It could be on a
horizon. He saw.
They could be on a collision.
Yeah.
Collision course them too.
How frustrated have you been with boxing lately, man? With all these fights.
Boxing, man. They
Good
just
question, bro. Good question.
Yeah, that was a good question. How frustrated? I mean, we want to see the best fight the best, man. Just like in the amateurs, right? You said you can't duck no work in the amateurs.
Man.
You cannot duck it. But now it's just like so political. You got I want to see the Davis and the Garcia fight. Is that gonna happen? I don't know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people want to see that fight, but you know, the camps are guarding their fighters too much. You know what I'm saying? The PBC, the this or that. It just doesn't make sense for the sport. Because the whole name of the game is the best to fight the best. You know what I'm saying? So if it's very frustrating when the fans want to see a certain fight and they don't get it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, so
because it's not like they're not gonna make money. We gonna pay to see that fight.
yeah,
we gonna pay you.
We're gonna pay it. And if one of them loses, they still great. It don't matter if you take that L.
Right.
It's like I feel like in boxing, you know, you don't see this so much in MMA. Like they don't safeguard that O so much. You know what I'm saying? They fighting each other. If they got a couple losses, they're still
upper echelon. That's what Jalil was saying before you got here.
There. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? But now you gotta, you know, you want to protect that 0, but that doesn't take away from your greatness, and your skill. It doesn't take away from none of that.
100%.
Look at how we talk about the 5 kings to this day. We're going into 2023. These fights happened in before we were all born in 80, 81, like that era. The 5 kings.
Still watch that fight.
Yes.
I'm still running back and watching.
And I say 5. I don't say 4 kings. I say 5 because people forget about a guy El Radar, Wilfred Benitez, dangerous. Oh my. Watch the tapes. Anywho, but the 5 kings back then even the heavyweights, the just any weight class you could think of, there were guys that you found out if you really wanted to be a fighter or not. And I think that art is slightly missing these days. Yeah, like you know, that is slightly missing. You know, so
it's straight behind.
And I think well, see when you like, I think that art is missing a little bit. Like with guys really, it's so much of wanting to be. You know, I think guys so badly just want to be cute. I hate to put it that way, but it's like guys want to be cute now. It's like it makes the whole thing with Mike Tyson, what he said about these guys are businessmen. I was a killer that made money.
That's facts.
It's starting to look more like that now. You know, so.
On the men's side.
On the men's my bad. My apologies. Now, let me clarify my words. On the men's side. Cause these females is digging in. Getting it. These females putting in work.
100%. I got so much respect. That's why I'm so glad Tanisha is making her return this weekend. I cannot wait to watch her fight, bro.
Even before what just happened this year. When she fought Marlene. She didn't have to do that. She didn't have to do that fight.
She didn't, but she did it because she wanted that smoke.
Man, it wanted that smoke. Can you imagine how much they would have waited another 2 years? Wait, what was that, 2 years ago? They would have waited till now. Much more money.
Pay way much more money.
And then and then if it was across the pond as well.
Shit. Man.
You know, so and you got guys out here faking. And the worst thing that really pisses me off is you got guys out here and everybody know I say what the fuck I want. I don't care. You know, it's like, but I'll never forget what my boy Dusty said, what Primo said. He said, you know, when you know you can fight, you say what the hell you want. But you got guys, man, that they put on this facade of wanting to fight. Oh, I don't fight this guy. Oh, I'll move up to fight him. I'll fight this guy. Even with the Ryan thing, I hate to put it. Because you know I done talked about his skill sets, but I've also talked about his flaws as well. But I don't believe he want to fight he don't want to fight no damn Tank. I'm sorry, this dude will not stop talking about Tank every press conference. That's like his coattail to hold on just enough that
that's
will
the
give
hashtag
him extra.
that gets him the views.
Yeah, more views. Perfect. That's exactly what I was trying to figure out how to say it. That was perfect. What you just said. Mama, that's why you back, bro. Anywho. Nah, don't laugh, Miss K. Let me cook, Miss K. Like, this the thing that get me. He don't want to fight no damn Tank because he didn't even want to fight no damn Pitbull. So you mean to tell me you want to fight Tank, but you couldn't fight Pitbull? Make that make sense. You didn't want to fight, at the time, a B- going into a B+ fighter, who now is about to start to turn the corner to be above a B+, almost an A- fighter as he's turning that corner to higher echelon. And you say you want to fight Tank, who's already an A-, A+ fighter, fight to fight. You don't really want to fight nobody. Cut the bullshit.
Right.
You don't want. Ryan Garcia don't want to fight no damn Tank. Basically what I was saying was, is God. The thing that pisses me off, and some guys not gonna like what I have to say on this because we're not I've been in that ring. I've been in world class training. I've been the spawn. I've been in this. I've cut weight. I know this shit. I was there when Jerry Hurd had to take whatever they gave him. I was there for that. And he went and kicked. He took the little crack in the door and he kicked it open. And he really meant what he said to me at Hillcrest. Man, I will end Laura. I'll never forget he told me that. Man, I will end Laura with a grin on his face as we were doing circle work, shadow boxing. And we had to do 6 rounds of lateral movement and then shadow boxing. Man, and this is what he's doing. But like we all talking about who maybe as if he keeps, because now he's kicking in the door. He just beat Tony Harrison. Now he's defending his title, whatever. So he said, man, I swear, Junior, I will end Laura. I never forgot that. He didn't mind. Swift didn't mind whoever he fought. Guys are faking the funk nowadays. Caleb Plant's one of the only ones and David Benavidez, who else? Sinisa Estrada, any of the females. We ain't gotta name the females. We already know what they stand on.
Those got a good point in the chat. He said UK actually supports boxers though. When I tell a person I'm a boxer, they just like, oh, that's cool and go on. He said boxing ain't a sport that's very liked here. Then he said he didn't want to fight Javier Fortuna either until he saw JoJo give him that work. He said Ryan literally knows he's going to lose, but this loss will make him a bigger star. SMH.
But this the thing.
That's a great point.
He didn't want to fight. Garcia didn't want to fight Fortuna?
Yeah, at first, yeah. And I remember I was in the gym with Fortuna too. Like,
because hold on, wasn't that fight supposed to happen? Then it got canceled.
Yeah,
because Ryan
just like
retired,
the Pitbull
That's
thing.
Right. That's right.
Just like the whole Pitbull jump. He was supposed to fight Pitbull 3 times.
Yeah.
Each time it was a back out, and then the 3rd time his Pitbull father said, "We will not fight him unless we get some type of penalty purse for him backing out this time."
Mm-hmm.
And you're not gonna convince me that he wants to fight Tank. You mean to tell me you didn't want to fight Pitbull, but you want to fight Tank, and your own handlers know your flaws. Like for instance, I'm gonna go ahead and speed it up for you, so you know I've given his props. I remember when he fought so many guys in the amateurs. I was there for some of them. Mm-hmm. He has a gifted whipping hook, gifted hook, and it's a whipping, like just whipping, and you don't know it's blinding, and he has great length. He's putting on more muscle. He has good vision, good torque on his punches through his target very well. Now let's get to the flaws. He does not know how to use his height, does not know how to use his length. He cannot fight on the inside. His chin is always in the air.
Always in the air. He don't keep
every shot
too close. He smothers his punches. Who was it that he fought that? I think it was an African dude, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was
everything.
That last fight.
Everything.
Right.
Don't maintain his distance. His range. He can't keep his range right. He's Yeah, you right. There's too many flaws. I think
those said chin in the air equals Ryan.
I'm tired of making people happy, saying, "Oh, don't do this on the show, whatever." I don't give a shit. I'm gonna just show. Like for instance, shout out to Uncle Bubbles, Raymond Jackson, Uncle Bubbles. He was like, when I started to get tall, I started to lose my coordination and get, because my body trying to catch up to my coordination, getting tall, whatever. You probably know, dealt with. You start getting taller and get clumsy to your coordination, trying to catch up to your height. So he was telling me, when you get close to the ropes, you ain't got to step into it as much as you would because you got him on the ropes now. You're going to smother yourself. You don't know if he's going to. Now you got to also think a man is most dangerous when he's hurt. So now you got to fight for his life. So his money shot is coming. So he was like, when you get to the ropes, just sit there and go there. Just you're pushing that shot, but not smothering. You understand? He doesn't do that. He does not do that at all. His whole thing when he shoot is everything is one speed, fast. He don't change at the level he's at. He still puts his chin in the air. He still sticks his arm out. He still doesn't know his foot placement sometimes. That's how he got dropped that first time.
Well, he got dropped too because his chin was in the air.
And chin in the air. He pulls straight out. He only throws his punch. He has the Amir Khan effect where he throws all his punches at one speed instead of changing the speed up on certain shots. He does not change up his jabs. He does not sit there and give a feint. He doesn't even work on his feints. And with the speed that he has, I don't understand why he doesn't have an arsenal of feints. I don't understand it. And then you have your own team. I'll never forget when he fought Jason Valdez. And they were Oscars coming out asking for autographs, whatever. You know, this East LA's Golden Boy. So they want to ask for autographs, and somebody said, "So you ready for Tank?" And he said, "Oh no, Tank's a beast." Oscar De La Hoya said that. You really think he just signed that new deal? What, earlier this year or late last year, whatever? He just signed that new deal with Golden Boy. You really think Golden Boy want to fuck his money up? With as much money, if I invest that much money into you, I'm expecting double back. I ain't trying to break even.
If he
and
lose
you
a
ain't
tank, that's
going
not gonna fuck the money up that
No,
bad.
no, it's not. No, I'm not.
You know what I mean?
He's not gonna fuck the money up. But he also knows that that's puts a dead stop on it. Cause he's not gonna. He probably has a worry that he's not gonna show. Like for instance, Boots loses to Bud. It's a Fernando Vargas loss. That Bama gonna show up. Pitbull loses. He's gonna still. It's a Fernando Vargas loss. He gonna show the fuck up. And it's so you the skill sets that he has and the mistakes that he makes. There's no way in hell you gonna tell me that this guy's gonna sit there and go and want to fight. He didn't want to fight Pitbull, but you want to fight Tank. And you haven't improved on your skill sets, and yet Tank has improved with his maturation process outside the ring.
Outside the ring, which then translate into inside the ring.
Did you hear when you was coming in what I was saying about Hector Camacho?
Yeah. I heard the whole joke.
Exactly.
Yeah, how they partying and stuff like that. Yeah.
And that some guys don't hit that line where you know what, I gotta cut the ball.
I gotta stop.
I gotta stop.
See, that was Macho's downfall. He never stopped.
And still was a 3-time world champion, multiple weight classes.
So imagine if he would have stopped.
Imagine if he would have stopped.
The Dose in the chat, he dropping facts. He said he was better with his distance against Fortuna. If y'all watch that, he did do better against Fortuna with his distance. I can't agree with that.
Yeah, he caught him with that hook.
Yeah, the sweeping that last hook.
Right, but that was his first fight with Joe Goosen, right? He was with
second fight.
Second fight with
That was
Goosen?
Second fight.
Okay. The first fight was with the African guy.
African guy, okay. So he's working on things. He said he worked his jab too, though. He said Ryan got a lot of problems before he fights anyone on the A level. If I was him, I'd come back to Tank in about 2 or 3 years.
2 or 3 years.
He said Ryan said he's going to retire by 26, so Oscar better milk that while he can. So I mean, he got valid points.
He got valid points. 3 years for that one though, man.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Back to the frustrations with boxing. Like,
right.
You can't, you know what I'm saying, put these fights too far out. You know, the fans want it now.
Right.
And you kind of glossed over Caleb Plant with that knockout.
I never had a chance to finish that topic. How you feel about that knockout? How you feel about Plant versus Benavidez?
Because we never seen Darrell get hurt like that.
Yeah,
ever.
that was a great knockout.
Amateur or pro.
But see what it was, I think it was a hook, right?
Double.
Darrell was throwing a hook too.
Yep.
But he dropped his right hand.
Yep. Which is uncharacteristic for the Darrell, bro. They usually their textbook, slick textbook.
He dropped that right hand.
The hook to the body made him drop it. He went downstairs first, boom, boom, brought it up top.
I think he made see you can't drop that right hand. That's got to be right there, man.
Yeah, and I was surprised.
I just saw that this morning too.
I was surprised though that Darrell didn't. I understand that I kind of got a little bit of a cheat code that because some guys when they get hit to the body they got to bring their arms because their arms aren't as long as mine. That I could sit there and just tuck and open my glove up and I still protect the temple. Right yep, I could tuck and protect and open up the glove and manipulate my glove to catch the temple or whatever. But of course, we got 10 ounces on a little more, especially Grants that are slender. I get it. But at the same time, that's people. I'm telling y'all, stop talking junk about them Darrell family, man. That family is well known in the fight game. That's a legendary family. That's why it was such a shocker that he even got caught.
Maybe he thought Plant was going back to the body because he saw Plant. He threw that body and he kind of stayed there and he's like,
he cranked over the top.
Oh, good point. I didn't think about that. Good point.
Because Darrell said I didn't even see. I didn't know it was coming.
Yeah, I didn't see. Yeah, he admitted that. Yeah, he admitted it.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's probably what it was. He didn't. He probably because he threw it. Plant threw it like from down here. He was at the, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, he was completely here at tuck and everything. It wasn't even in his vision here. He completely committed to taking his body to the side.
So Darrell probably thought another body shot was coming.
Right. And just, like gamma inches, like you
said.
Gamma inches, bro.
Now, thinking about it, where he committed at, instead of committing here and going boom, boom, he committed all the way over with the body shot and then came up. What if Darrell thought, because where his hand went like here, maybe he thought Darrell slick as he is, he was gonna go bing, bing, and then pivot out. Thought the uppercut was coming. He was gonna go to catch it, palm it. That maybe could have been it as well. You know, we don't know until someone, you know, asks him or whatever. But it's gonna be interesting to see Sweet Hands how he utilizes that speed and his movement with David.
Let's get your opinion on that.
Benavidez?
Yeah,
Plant
that's
and
what I was about to
Benavidez,
ask him.
man.
I like Benavidez.
In that fight?
Why?
Yeah.
Tell me why real quick.
Just
And then we
his
could go back and
punch
forth.
output, you know what I'm saying? His power, his punch output. But then you got Caleb. He's very slick with his movement. So he
Controlled.
he's a great boxer. He, in terms of, you know what I'm saying? He's a pure boxer. But I like Benavidez though. I like Benavidez. You know, he's just aggressive. He's forward. He got, you know, a lot of punches and bunches. So we'll see, man. We'll see. When's that one set to fight?
I forget the date. I ain't gonna get on here and lie.
But I know it's supposed to be like early next year, right? It's supposed to be early, like January,
I think like February or January, something like that.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, something like that. I feel like, in my opinion, I never got a chance. You asked me this question, never got a chance to answer it.
Oh yeah, come on with it, bro. Come on, because I'm gonna go at both of y'all. Let's do this.
I like this fight a lot, man. I like this fight a lot. Caleb Plant showed that people been questioning his pop, and if he can punch, he showed he can punch.
No, he showed he could.
He showed he could punch.
He has a sneaky power on his left
right.
hook.
He got power that. Oh shit, we gotta respect that now, because you know David did Darrell pretty dirty. You know, beat him up pretty bad. But nobody, I didn't expect Plant to catch.
But it was the cut that really did
right,
it.
It was the
and
cut
he
that
was
really
doing
did it.
good with his jab against David.
I didn't expect Caleb to do that. So I'm still like, oh shit. So now that adds another variable to this fight with David. I like Dave, like you said, punch output, Mr. Walk you down. But I feel like he's like walking down flat-footed as hell. And he's going to have to catch up. He's going to have to catch up to Caleb.
Yeah.
If he can get Caleb.
That's true. And then he gotta be Benavidez gotta be planted in order to punch. And then if you got somebody moving around,
Right. And
it's gonna make it tough for him.
I think he's gonna have to catch Caleb up against the ropes and try to keep him there. But if Caleb can keep his back and them calves off the rope and keep that fight here and circle him and turn him, I think the fight may work in Caleb's favor with the jab, working off the jab, staying at distance and working him. But you know, it's definitely like a toss up, flipping a coin, because David catch him and hurt him, you know, to the body. David throws the hooks, left, right.
My shit for, bro?
I'm just saying, you know, David throw them hooks left, right.
So with the Canelo fight, remember Canelo was pressing him down and walking him down. It was effective though. He was effective that way.
Right.
So Benavidez doing that. I mean,
that's a great point.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a great point.
Caleb wasn't able to get out, get. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
I'm loving this conversation. Y'all go ahead and finish. I'm gonna go last.
For sure. I feel like Canelo was punching everything. Canelo broke him down with everything. He was whipping.
And Benavidez can't do the same?
No, he definitely can.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a great. This for me is almost a 50-50 fight.
Yeah.
It's almost 50-50. It depends on how is Caleb gonna bring that Philly shell against David? Was that something he tried to use? Is that something he tried to use because he saw Floyd do it against Canelo?
Nah, he always uses it.
He was really in that Philly shell against Canelo.
Yeah,
you could tell he was watching Floyd. He watched Floyd and Canelo and was studying it.
Even the counter
he studied Floyd and Canelo like a motherfucker before that fight. You can tell. You can definitely tell. Is he gonna bring that style, that same defensive discipline, and try to stand there and just roll with the punches? If he try to stand there and roll with the punches like Floyd was doing against Canelo, against David, I don't know. Nah. He gotta really get on his stick and turn David and keep him here, because David fights square. He's square.
So they keep him turning.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. All right. That's what he got to keep him turning. Because like I said, Benavidez got to stay planted and then lets off his shot. So if you got somebody turning and giving you angles and stuff and using his footwork and lateral movements, you know what I'm saying? I want to hear what you guys say.
All right, I'm about to cook. All right, let me go ahead and shake out a little bit.
What do you say?
All right, cool. So this is my thing. The way that David walks, to y'all point, is square. He shoots a lot of volume, but a lot of times when he's shooting, he'll come in this pop, 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 boom. This little gap in between here is the big telltale sign for that double hook that he just knocked out the rail with and has dropped other guys with. Is what is he gonna get here? Now the next thing is the battle of the jabs, and we all know that Sweet Hands is one of the most beautiful arsenal of stick today that you could call out where he could sit. He'll even
Damn.
Oh, I'm sorry. Like he'll even my bad. Like
Earthquake in this drink.
he'll look at you like this. Then he'll turn here, and as he's walking this way, as he's coming around, and he knows where the real estate is. Okay, ropes is about right here, corners here. He's gonna sit. He may go like this, feint you, walk off, and as he's turning, he'll give you a double foot feint, back foot feint, like he's coming at something, and then as soon as you pull, then all of a sudden he shoots it up. But that gives him enough time to swing his back foot out and get out to more real estate. And now he does his little walk off. And now he's back into reset. Second, that's going to be another thing. Can his jab be the big telltale sign? Second thing, his feet are faster than anybody that David has fought. His feet are much faster and lighter, and he can utilize more tricks with his feet than anybody that David has fought up until this point. So now you ought to also wonder, okay, so how he's going to be able to BINK's point. David comes in, and his whole thing is to break you down. So now everything is coming at a volume and hard. So it's like, okay, so he's coming here, and he's shooting. Now, where does Caleb throw? Like, okay, now he's throwing this, but now it's, okay, I could sit there and utilize this and slide in, make him look stupid, and I'm gone. You can't catch up with my feet. But to the Canelo thing, we already know he ain't dealing with somebody as slick as Canelo this time. He ain't got to worry about that. The biggest thing is just volume I have to worry about.
Power.
And that break you down power. And what can I get in between your shots? Because my biggest thing is you throw 5 to 8 punch combinations nonstop. You rarely ever throw 3 punch combinations. 9 times out of 10 with David, it's 4, 5 to 8 shots. What can I get in between with these shots? Now, when he fought Canelo, he got a little bit tired late, but he was still in pretty much good control, good mental stability. The biggest thing was you could see Cinnamon's maturation from the Floyd fight to that point, because he caught Canelo multiple times, touch shoulder, rock, brick, rock, uppercut, catch, hook.
Canelo was banging that shit.
And he was catching it, and he was right there for catching it, pulling his guard back up, boom, pull the guard, hold the toe, pull it back up, boom, come back. And watch as Canelo makes the adjustment. The way he stopped Sweet Hands was he immediately made Caleb, we talked about it the other show, he made Caleb think the hook was coming normal in a sense. Like, I'm going here and I'm going to shoot here. He made
it look like it was going down.
It's going to be here. But then he shifted from here up. So the way Caleb is thinking is, okay, I'm going to dip, swing my back foot out, and I'm going to more real estate. And as soon as he knew Cinnamon just went on, was like, oh, okay, Caleb's going to try to dip, and I'm going to shovel it. And as soon as he tried to shovel it, that changed that angle just enough. And what do you see?
The same joint he hit Billy Joe with.
Ran right into it. And then that's what buzzed him. He ain't got to worry about that too damn much. That type of chess play. Yeah. He ain't got to worry about it. It's more volume, control. What can I do if I utilize my jab with this guy? Will David's size be an issue? Because Caleb's more stronger than people realize. He's a natural 68 guy.
Stay in shape.
And he stays in shape. That's another thing. How well does that rounds 8 through 12 go? Because you know that Caleb stays in top shape all the time. And you know that David sometimes really, really hurts himself to get to 68. So now you got to wonder if he keeps up a certain, I don't want to say pace, but just keeps the dance going just a little differently, not in complete control, that David's not in full control. If he does that and David's not in full control, does that change? Does it turn back into another Ronald Gabriel fight? That first fight that David had with Ronald Gabriel, who dropped him, and the guy was really pushing David. Does he turn it into that all over again? So that's my biggest thing. Is that catch in between? Is he going to be able to get anything in between that volume? Pop, 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 pop. Everything in between. What is that? What is he going to do to utilize that gap? When David shoots in with his body, is he going to throw his shoulder like, okay, all right, pop, pop. Okay. Throw my shoulder right into his chest and push him off. Like, yeah, you ain't just gonna be walking down on me, type of thing.
Now you break it down like this. Caleb definitely has more tools in his toolbox than Benavidez. I think Benavidez may be 1 or 2 dimensional because Caleb could box, he could mix it up. He got the deceptive power, and then he can move. You know what I'm saying? I think that's going to be the determining factors in this fight. His movement. You know what I'm saying? His movement, his boxing ability, and but we'll see, man. Anything happen in a fight though.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
From Dose in the chat. Good point here. He said, I saw an interview. Benavidez said Bivol was kind of easy in sparring. Why doesn't he just go up to 175?
He will.
He said, is 168 that much of a glamour division? They don't know. 175? Do you think there's good fights for David at 175?
Oh, hell
yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I think the fights we want to see David in is at 175. You got Bivol, you got
That's true.
Beterbiev, you got Joe Smith. You talking about those in the trench, boom, boom, boom,
Bigger
boom,
question.
where he can really let his combination go like you'd like to see against Joe Smith or somebody like that.
And it's going back to what you said, he got to do a lot to get down to that weight where he fatigues later on. You may not have that problem going to that 75.
I think our best Benavidez is at 175.
Yeah,
in my opinion. That's a good point, Dose. That's a real good point, Dose.
But now I got a bigger question to bounce off of Dose and y'all too. Does he bully people the way he do at 68, at 75?
I don't think he bullies.
What? He ain't. You say you don't think he bullies?
I don't think he bullies, but that's what I'm saying. The fights that we grew up seeing, those tough Mike Tyson fights, the Ali's and the Frazier's, those fights, that's his fights at 175 with Beterbiev and them bigger dudes. I'm telling you, I'm seeing it.
You're right. I'm not saying you're wrong.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, he fought one of the top guys who gave him all he want, man. Tip that he's Speedy Ellis's brother.
Yeah.
He always helped Cinnamon in camp. He gave David all he want. He was right there with it. David really had to put him away. He had nothing but respect for that's not his name is it's not Rashidi. Rashidi's the younger, it's the smaller brother. Oh my gosh.
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of his name either.
But he gave Ellis all the respect. He fought our guy, Chiron, who's also, now that Caleb has left, he changed trainers, right?
Who is he with now?
J-Rock's and Chiron's trainer, Breadman.
Okay.
Remember Chiron, who came in, he was supposed to fight, what's that guy name that Caleb beat for the title? Uskatagi. He was supposed to fight Uskatagi, and Uskatagi popped dirty. So Chiron came in as a late replacement. And he got all the biggest respect, and he fought Darrell as well, and got a lot of big respect. He got a draw with
Ronald Ellis.
Yeah, Ronald. He fought so Chiron fought Anthony Darrell. He fought Darrell and got a draw. Then he fought David and got a standing ovation even though he lost. Now the guy who trains him and trains J-Rock, who's good on inside stuff. Cause my biggest thing, what did I just say? I don't got him not stay on the inside with David Benavidez. But now he's working with Breadman and that great trainer with J-Rock and all of them. Ain't no telling what extra stuff they're gonna use. Hey man, they might tell him this. Hey, we're gonna utilize the inside work when it turns into inside work with David Benavidez, the same way I had J-Rock utilize it against Jared on the inside. When he get on the inside, we're going to use his weight against him. And we're going to shift all his weight. We're going to let his weight fall right on in, and we're going to counter him. That could be the thing. Especially him having Breadman and that Philly shell, since he's working in Philly shell. And we all remember how beautiful J-Rock is on the inside with glove placement and all those things, glove manipulation, all that stuff. And using your weight on two and then throwing the shoulder off of you and then coming over top. That's going to be the big thing. But we've known David to be the bully at 68. He ain't taking a step backwards. He beating you around the ring, and you just got to try to keep pushing yourself, these guys are pushing themselves off the working till they can't no more till the fight gets stopped. Everybody, they going hard to the end against Dave, but Dave is the one who's walking guys down, controlling them. If he goes to 75, I ain't got that happening with no Bivol. I'm sorry. I ain't got better BF. I ain't got that happening, my boy. I'm sorry. I got them Russian dudes sitting there like, oh, Okay. All right, now I'm gonna give you this little bit of bounce. I'm gonna give you this forearm right here to run into.
Bivol
And now,
is nice,
boom, bruh, the way he controls
Bivol nice.
his distance, bruh. I did not expect for him to beat on Zerto that good, bruh. He outclassed the mess out of
Zerto was huge.
Huge.
He punished him.
Who, bruh?
Canelo.
I'm about to run that back today.
Watch that,
Yeah.
and then see what you think Canelo gonna do with him in a rematch.
My
I don't think Canelo want to see him.
I don't see Canelo doing it much of anything.
Daggone thing. I'm sorry. It's weight classes for a reason. But
Bivol might fuck around and stop Canelo. I'm gonna say that right now on air. Bivol might fuck around and stop Canelo if they rematch, yo.
Bruh.
Canelo looked super frustrated in that first one.
I was just saying.
So frustrated. He was trying to figure out what he couldn't figure him out.
Yeah. Bruh, you heard what I said when he hit him? He's like, man, and shot that joint. He always shoot. And he shoots that whip and hit him in the shoulder. He hit him 3 times, and all of a sudden, Bivol just do that.
Bivol didn't move offline ever.
That Bama didn't move nothing.
I want to know Bivol's secret and what he did to get that arm ready for that fight, because you saw that the joint was all black and blue.
The bamboo sticks.
Because you remember he did that same jump to Colin Smith, and Colin Smith
blew his bicep up.
And I'm like, you could see Keno's whole face. Keno's face did this. He went boom, boom, everything.
He said, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, he was.
You
doing,
saw his face.
Yeah, he
like,
was
he
doing
was
that a lot.
Pissed.
He was super frustrated.
This is the thing though. We all heard this man was talking. Oh yeah, I might go up to 90 and fight the cruiserweight champ. The same dude that Tony Bellew knocked out for the title. Makabu, who's known as a bricklayer. He's like, oh, I don't fight Makabu. Yeah, all right, boy. Yeah, I'm like, man, skills. I tell people all the time, man, skill for skill. I know plenty of guys, man. There's a reason why you tip your hat to Sweet Pea Whitaker and Wilfred Benitez and just so many great guys over the years, too many in the name, that move up weight class after weight class after weight class. Look at Junior Jones. Junior Jones was huge for his weight class at 22. He was putting people out as soon as he touched him. So then he couldn't make the weight no more. He went up to 26. And he still couldn't make it. He had to go up to 30, and he was getting hurt. He couldn't stay there no more. He couldn't have guys just too big, but he couldn't be at 26 anymore, 22 no more. Couldn't make the weight. That's just how it is. And people don't understand that you can have skill, as much skill as you want. I tell this story all the time. Never forget. I always was the smaller guy in the gym, 32 pounds, sparring the bigger guys. And this is when I'm trying to get ready for fights. Dude come up to my dad, man, no, you should have your son put on another 20 pounds of muscle, put him at 52 or whatever, and such, because with this kid, he could be he fight like Roy, be another Roy, whatever. Dad said, man, nah, man, my son got to be he could box with any skill for he could box anywhere, but man, this weight class for a reason. My son got to eat to get to that weight. Them dudes got to lose to get to them weights. And you know who the hell was waiting at 41 and 52? A guy named Mike, yes indeed, Reed. Another dude named Marquise Moore at 52. Gary Allen Russell at 41. Shit, I'm good at 32 and 38. I'm good here.
Weight classes for a reason.
Man, what? Yeah. Man, what Ray Leonard said, he fought Donnie Lalonde at 75 pounds. And he said that was the first time he ever fought, and every single shot hurt badly when he fought Donnie Lalonde.
See, and I think when these fighters try to do this, they diminishing. They got the skill set, but then it's like the legacy. Are you hurting your legacy doing this? You know what I'm saying? Stepping up, and then you not performing at your peak.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I know you want to step up and you want to keep going in different weight classes, but at some point, right? Like at some point, like a Canelo and Bivol, or like, is it needed? Like to you know,
when there's so many fights in your division.
Yeah, it's not needed.
Look at Floyd. Look at so many guys. Even Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia ain't stupid. He moved up to 54. You really think he gonna fight a natural 54 like Jared Hurd size? All the guys that Floyd, majority of the guys, all the guys that, besides Canelo, even though that was at a catch weight, most of the time when they fought guys at 54 and whatever, it was guys that were like them, that were moving up over time to that weight class. They didn't just fight, okay,
not a big, like you said,
natural.
not a bigger dude that's cutting to make that weight.
Yeah, man, it's a whole nother ball game.
Yeah.
But, the other thing I saw in the chat, bro, they were saying, do y'all think Mr. Gary Russell was moving up to 30? Yeah, no other choice. What is there for him to I want to see what y'all think. There's nothing else for him to accomplish at 26.
You want to see him fight more. I don't care if he moves 30, 35, 47. I just want to see him fight.
Brand, what? Because I don't know, man. Time about to blow him by. But I understood. I think it's a time for me to defend him a little bit because I've known him so well and trained beside him for so long. he went through hell and back in the amateurs. I remember him breaking both of his hands in the tournament. So, I mean, tore his shoulder, and that shoulder that he hurt against the guy he just lost the title to,
Mark Messiah.
That shoulder was messed up for years. I mean, amateur, Olympic time, years. This is my thing with Sweetie. If you really look at his career, all he did was utilize what the WBC mandates were. That's all he did. Yeah, man, I done fought all these amateur fights at a high level. I done did this, did that. You know what? I ain't gotta do all this, man. You know what? This is what I'm gonna do. What's the WBC mandate? Because remember, he fought for the IBF first before he ever fought for the WBC. He fought Lomachenko, and he got the loss. So he got the WBC and said, all right, I got the fingers, my mandatory once a year. Remember for what was it, 5 years straight? He fought on close to the same date, late August, for like 5 years straight.
He worked the system, man.
He worked the system. Like, okay, and then so if you really look at it, if I got the WBC belt, Kenichi's my mandatory at the WBC. You're ranked number 3. BINK's ranked number 4. What happens is y'all undefeated. Yeah, I want Junior. I want Junior's WBC belt. But then you ranked at number 3, you ranked at number 4, and Nishi's number 2. Or Nishi's number 1 and you number 3, number 4. He's gonna say, oh, you get a phone call. Hey, y'all still ranked at WBA, IBF, and WBO. Y'all ranked in those other sanctioning bodies. You might be 2 in the WBA. You might be 2 in the IBF. So you might get a call to fight for that one as a vacant belt or whatever. And what you gonna do? You gonna take it. Nishi, what you gonna do? You gonna say, you know what? I'll take that because if I fight and win that belt, I could turn around and fight Junior for his WBC, and this time I got a belt to bring to the table, which is more money. And now y'all two get called to go fight for the WBA mandatory or number 1 contender, and you get called to fight for the WBO one. And that whole time that just cuts off each dangerous mandatory one by one, because I'm still fighting my mandatory, but now I'm fighting the 4th least dangerous guy. Still dangerous, but it's just, and then until y'all want to make a negotiation, that's how it worked. So and now it's like, okay, now he just lost to Mark Maxwell. What is those to accomplish? You might as well go to 30 before time blowing by. I understood what he did because Gary dealt with a lot with his hands, his shoulders, all those fights, fighting internationally in the amateurs. I understood why he did what he did. But now it's like, okay, now you don't want time to blow past you. So it's like, okay, 30, 35, do what you gonna do, But you also wonder, he hit Mark Maxwell hit him and was knocking him across the ring, almost knocking him off balance. So it's like, all right, if you go to 30, go to 35, he got the skills. We know that power. What is that's different. The only thing.
That's why they got weight classes for a reason, right? Does it? But he got the skill, he got the speed.
My God, do we?
You know what I'm saying?
And that hook is nasty. That hook is nasty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we just want to see Gary fight, man.
I remember watching Gary one time fight at Sugar Ray Leonard card when Sugar Ray used to do when he used to have amateur fights over there.
Yeah.
They don't do no more amateur fights over there, do they? I haven't seen one in a while, but yeah, I've been watching him and all these amateurs, man. It's good to see where they are now, man. It's just, and then the new generation of amateurs coming up and the new world champions is gonna be coming up through that.
Yeah,
it's a lot, man. It's a lot coming out the area.
A lot coming out the
area. Whole lot, man. I done talked to Austin Trout. He stamped it. He said, "Yo, when I come to the DMV to train or spar, he said, y'all got it. He said that's where I come and get my best work. He said DMV got some of the best fighters in the world."
Yeah, I still remember when he sparred Jared.
He stamped it, man. He stamped it. So definitely agree with you there. Real quick, can you touch on where we can watch the fights at the Thump Yard?
Yeah, so we're gonna be transmitting it live on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, the Thump Yard. Our last event, we had a whole live stream thing set up. So, like I said, back to us wanting to elevate and improve all our shows. We'll make sure the next one is a little better, like with the graphics and stuff like that. But yeah, we transmitted live and we got like different camera angles and all that. Stuff. Like it looks good, man. It looks good. Like our last event, we had a lot of people that are just raving about. We did a great job in producing it and putting it together. That some guys even say it was better than some pro shows that they've been to in the area. So,
good for you.
And what's the next fight date?
November 20th, next Sunday. Doors open at 1 o'clock, and first bout at 3. And that's at that Coco Cabana nightclub.
Coco Cabana. Let me write this down. I will forget. Coco.
Now I'm gonna make sure I send it to you on a DM.
Okay, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be dropping different little promo videos I got for the fights.
Okay, for sure. Up. Yeah, definitely send that, and I'll kick that out and send it to as many people as I possibly can, man. What you doing is huge, man.
I can't understand none of that shit he just wrote.
I'm writing like a doctor like you.
I'm
writing like a doctor like you. But yeah, man. Definitely appreciate you coming through the show.
Nah, man, I appreciate
y'all, man.
You
bought the best out of me talking boxing today, man. I appreciate it,
man. I appreciate it. Now you freaking boxing historian.
Oh,
man.
my
Lord.
All the
time, man.
I'm gonna have to do my homework next time y'all ever have me over there. Man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I salute you, man. Salute you, brother.
Yeah,
appreciate you.
For sure. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we let you go?
Just appreciate just the support, man. Keep doing y'all thing. I see this podcast blowing up. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna blow up for sure, man. You guys already had a bunch of top level people on this podcast, and and I appreciate the support. Keep pushing the message, man. Put these guns down. The gloves up. Too many of our young brothers and sisters just losing their life, due to senseless violence, man. It's just it's terrible. And like I said, like me, for example, my situation, I feel like God has a reason for everything, and if it wasn't for me going through what I went through, the Thump Yard wouldn't even be existing.
Good point.
Like it wouldn't, like it literally would not have existed. So
right,
with the impact and the platform now that I have, with my story, and just keep pushing the message and keep pushing the platform, and and our goal is to be the premier amateur boxing promoter in this area.
Okay,
if not, but we'll start here and then we'll work on going nationwide. But yeah, we want to give great shows, good quality shows, and we want to get feedback from the community, see how we can improve. You know what I'm saying? Because we just want to be better and better on all our shows.
For sure.
And we want to feature some top level amateurs. I mean, we already got some top level amateurs that are gonna be on our next show. And what I tell the people, man, you got to be on the lookout for these amateurs. These new boxing fans. We created like a whole new fan base of boxers that were following when we were doing the backyard stuff. People that weren't really into boxing, and now they following us, and now I'm able to showcase these top level amateurs, and these amateurs, some of them will be world champions one day.
100%.
So, it's just great to be a part of their journey. The next show is a belt show. So
Man, I just say, I remember my dad saying how back in the day you used to have amateur fights on TV. And up until maybe the early 2000s, they still showed some amateur fights on TV, like the Army guys, or it would be the National Golden Gloves slightly. It used to be on ESPN a little bit. Now it's not on ESPN anymore. The way you going, it could end up, you can wind up bringing amateur boxing back on TV, man, on a big stage, man. You never know. It could start out with being on a local channel like Channel 8, and you wind up pushing from there, man. You never know. So you keep doing that. I just tip my hat to you, man. You a conqueror, man. You a man's man. I tip my hat to you, brother. I really do, man. You a bad dude.
Thank you, man. We all are, like I said, man. We all got a story, man. Just my little story, and I'm grateful and appreciative that I'm able to share it with the public, and and if I could just change one person's life, that's all. 100%. That's all that matters, brothers.
100%, man. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you for your message. Again, thank you for coming through the show and showing love to Slip Encounter.
Thank you.
And we will be in touch with you with the Thump Yard, man.
Thank you.
For sure.
Appreciate it, man.
I got to take my son. He a big Black Panther fan. Big Black Panther. And the movie just came out. So I got to run back to Hagerstown. And I'm surprising him with the movie. So I hope he's not watching right now. I'm surprising him with the Black Panther movie tonight. So I got to run back to Hagerstown, man. But
I'm going to just call him when we leave.
Yeah,
tell my nephew.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, just act
like you don't know what's going on. Yeah, man. But I want to shout out to everybody that came through today. I want to shout out the Money Team. I want to shout out Derek. I want to shout out Jalil, Major Hackett. I want to shout out, I don't even know your actual name. What's your actual name?
Oh, Jonathan.
I never got you with Jonathan. Jonathan from the Thump Yard, man. Jonathan from the Thump Yard for coming through and showing love and dropping that beautiful message about just perseverance and finding your true goal and your purpose.
Yes,
your true purpose through whatever you're going through. You may be in the depths of hell, but you still have a purpose here. No matter how down you get, you have a purpose. Yes, you have a reason to be here on this earth. Yes, so I really appreciate that message. Thank you for sharing that. I hope this does numbers.
I hope you got a hoodie in the car because I'm about to buy it.
I got to get your size though. What size you at?
M. M or
All
L,
right,
either
bet.
one.
Yeah,
All right,
for
bet.
sure. I'm gonna order one
This
from
ain't
you
gonna be
too.
the last time we talk, man.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
We'll be in contact, and I'm gonna
100%.
make sure I get you one too. What's your
Yeah,
size?
large.
All right, bet.
Large, man.
Got both.
Appreciate you.
Extra large.
Appreciate you, man. So we're gonna definitely gonna
Extra
wrap this
large.
one up.
Oh, wait, no, we can't wrap it up yet. Happy Veterans Day to
Oh,
you, bro.
appreciate you, man.
And
Appreciate
to
you.
my
Veterans
Uncle
Day.
Marvin, too, man.
Appreciate
Happy
you,
Veterans
man.
Day, I ain't forgot about that.
Nah, for
and
sure,
shout
man.
out to Jay Fire, too, and Cappy
Mhm.
Bakery, man, to y'all.
Happy
Definitely.
Veterans Day to all the veterans out there that did their thing and sacrificed their lives, put it on the line. So appreciate you guys.
And gracias por todo. Gracias por todo
Yes.
to Route 1 for everything. Gracias por
Indeed.
todo, man. My goodness.
Indeed. Shout
Muchas
out
gracias.
Route 1. Our boy Junior from Route 1 Alexandria came through with the
Big
food
Roy.
drop. I can't wait to go grow up real quick before I gotta leave. But we're gonna wrap this up, man. Thank you guys. Like, comment, subscribe if you like what you saw. Check us out on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Subscribe. And we'll be back with you guys again next week. Thank you.
Hasta luego.
I was born for this. Always know I was the one, didn't know when my time was gonna come. Born for this. Gotta be the voice for the youth, won't stop.
And I can keep this, I can keep the bass on, right? And I can stay on even when I'm on the game. Oh, that.
Closer. play games? Or these to listen to music? What if I told you these are gaming headphones? And you can use these to listen to music. So get rid of these two. And get the new HYBERNATION 5s by Kenichi. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter. Color RGB and extreme bass mode.
The HYBERNATION 5s are just to you.
I was born for this. Always knew I was the one, didn't know when my time was gonna come. Born for this. Gotta be the voice for the youth, won't stop.
And I can keep this, I can keep the bass on, right? And I can stay on even when I'm on the game. Oh, that.
play games? Or these to listen to music? What if I told you these are gaming headphones? And you can use these to listen to music. So get rid of these two. And get the new Hibernation 5s by Kenichi. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter. Color RGB and extreme bass mode.
The Hibernation 5s are just to you.